This week I completed another week of my student teaching internship, and I learned a lot this week. I was able to take on the role as a teacher, which I had kind of done last week, but this time my teacher left me with the class and just had me like start and get their attention and then go through the whole teaching experience. We did have a test the first day, so that was just kind of learning more about how she modifies the test. And it's a full inclusion classroom, so she actually has to make different versions of the test where she takes away some of the answers for students with special needs or with reading problems. And for other tests, she doesn't have to do that. So that was kind of interesting to see. And she also does have to read to some of the students during the test. So it was kind of a juggling act, which makes me kind of think about what she did when I wasn't there because I was able to sort of manage while she read to them. So that was interesting. And then beyond that, we were just studying the Roaring Twenties, so a lot of culture. And my teacher shows a lot of video clips, and we listen to like Louis Armstrong music and things like that just to get the students motivated about the unit. Um, Overall, it seems like the seventh graders have a lot of interest in the subject. Most of them seem very into history and they're very willing to raise their hands and answer questions and all of those things. So that's very nice. But then she does have a lot of discipline problems this year. And she actually did say that it's one of her hardest years as far as discipline goes and getting everybody kind of in their seats and sitting down and just like listening and being motivated. So that's been kind of a struggle. My cooperating teacher did give me a sheet that had a lot of tips for discipline, which helped. Just like phrases like, I'm not going to talk over you and things like that to try to get students to stop talking when it's, your turn to talk. So that was nice. And then another thing that was kind of interesting was I got to see like a write up. They did like, in school suspension for a kid. So I got to see that whole thing, and then I also got to watch over the in-school suspension classroom. The other thing that I guess is a little bit different than my internship in the high school was the team teaching idea. So the teachers in the middle school team that I'm in, it's, the social studies, English, math, and science teachers. They actually meet every week and sort of go over what everyone's doing and go over any behavior problems they're having and ways that they structure their classroom because they have all of the same students. So they're able to, discuss ways to better seat them and who works better in the front and the back and, different problems that they have. And they can also sort of, decide when they're having tests and when they're having a lot of homework so they don't assign too much for different for the same week or whatever. So that was nice. And it was interesting to see the different teachers' perspectives because they're all very different types of teachers. So it was kind of an interesting meeting. And then beyond that, it was just a pretty good week overall. And we didn't have any snow days this week, so that was nice. So nothing was set off as much as the week prior. And as I move forward, I'm discussing my unit plan with my cooperating teacher, and I will be doing my unit on the beginning and the causes of World War One, as well as American involvement. So moving America from isolation to aiding allies to actually being directly involved. So right now I'm in the process of just trying to make sure I create lesson plans that are motivating and intriguing while also thinking about discipline problems. That's like the most problem I'm having because I'm trying to think of how to do group work and do interactive things so that students can work together and present what they have, but also considering the discipline problems that we do have and trying to sort of alter my lessons to deal with that. So as I move on, working on that and then also doing the curriculum plan, which has been kind of hard because my teacher is kind of set back from all the snow days and things. So she's actually like a unit behind where she wanted to be at this point. So she's reworking currently how she's going to get to everything basically before the SOLs. I also did get to see an SOL framework, and she was just showing me she has a binder with every single unit sort of, or every SOL and like what you're supposed to teach in them. And she was kind of freaking out because she hasn't gotten to all of them yet. like, and she has last year's book, so she was comparing where she was this year, like where she is this year compared to where she was last year at this time. And it was interesting because I didn't realize, I guess, how many more units you have after World War II. So we're kind of working together, trying to figure that out. But besides that, I think that I'm just looking forward to next week to continue teaching and get my unit plan done.